Hi, welcome to my video tutorial on direct proportion. When we talk about direct proportion, what we're actually saying is that as one variable goes up, the other variable that's related to it goes up in the same proportion. So if we look at this on a basic XY graph, you've got your X value here and your Y value here. You're going to have a line that goes like that. Now, what that means is, for example, if X was 2, Y might be 4. But then when X goes up to 3, Y would go up to 6. And when X went up to 4, Y would go up to 8. Because Y is always double what X is, always twice as much. It's in direct proportion. That's what we mean when we talk about something being directly proportional. Now, for a standard GCSE question on the higher paper, you might get something like this. X is directly proportional to Y, and X equals 3 when Y equals 4. Now, there's a strict procedure that we need to follow to do this, which makes this a fairly simple question. What we do is we start off and we write down our proportionality statement. X is directly proportional to Y. We write this like this. X is proportional to Y. This sign here is our proportionality statement. We then change this into an equation and we write X equals K Y. Now what I've done here is I've introduced this constant K. This is going to be the value of how many times Y is greater than X. So we need to work out this value K. We can now put in our values for X and Y that we're told in the question. So X, remember, was 3 and Y was 4. So I'd write down K times 4, but I'm going to write it down as 4K. So 3 equals 4K. Now with a little bit of rearranging here, we can find out what K is, because all I need to do is take my 4 over to the other side and divide by 4. So that's going to give me my value of K equals 3/4. Now to finish off the formula, I just need to put this value of K back into this formula that I started writing down here. So my formula would become X equals 3/4 of what Y equals. And that's my proportionality formula. That would usually get you 2 or 3 marks at GCSE higher level. Once you've done this, then it's extremely easy to work out the other two. Next part, part B, says find X when Y equals, let's put some values in here. So let's find X when Y equals, say, 5. So here we go, let's do this. We're going to use our formula. So here we've got X equals 3/4 of Y. We now know what Y is, so we write down X equals 3/4 of 5. In mathematics, of always means multiply. So all we do is we do X equals 3/4 times 5. I write the 5 over 1 to make it easier to multiply. 3 times 5 gives me 15. And 1 times 4 gives me 4. 15 over 4 as an improper fraction. If I want to write that as a mixed number, 4 into 15 goes 3 times, and you've got 3 left over, so it becomes 3 3/4. Part C, slightly more complicated. So this time let's find Y when X equals, let's say X equals 6 this time. So now let's put that into our formula. X now equals 6, so we have to replace the X with 6. So we get 6 equals 3/4 Y. Now, when you see 3/4 Y, another way of writing that would be 3Y over 4. It's often a good idea to write it like that. It makes things look less complicated. So if we write this as 6 equals 3y over 4, then it seems a little bit easier to see what we've got to do next, because we've got to get rid of this 4. We're dividing by 4, so if I move that up to the other side, I'm going to times by 4. 4 times 6 gives me 24, so 24 equals 3y. So now I want to find out what y is. I need to now divide by 3, and 24 divided by 3 gives me 8. So y equals 8.